So here we go. Welcome back to the recap. And today I'm joined by good old Bainesy as I get his 5 takeaways from the Blues opening day draw against Bolton Wanderers in League One. Bainesy, thanks for joining me first of all. It was great seeing you at Portland Road on the weekend. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, really good. Great to see you. I think, as a fan who comes from further away, it's always nice to have a group of people to meet up with and not have to go on your own. It's just, I find it bonkers that the likes of Harvey went to North Wales and back in the day, King of the North, who I was sat with, John Watson, Doncaster, absolute bonkers. But yeah, it was nice to see everyone, get back to those, Saturday routines, checking the scores, checking the team sheet, having a few pints before and after. So yeah, absolutely buzzing. I was so happy for the season to be back.
Indeed, mate. And well, let's talk about the game then as a whole. A 1-1 draw against Bolton. Of course, Portland Road have had a bit of upgrades. A big screen, loads of different stuff going on, the concourse. As a whole, my friend, what do you thought of the upgrades? And it's always good being back at Portland Road. It's always good the first game of the season. The sun is shining, it's summer and all that sort of stuff. But what did you think of the upgrades?
Yeah, great to see it full as well. I mean, even at 27,000, it feels, so much. It feels pretty much full. So, yeah, I think everyone knew Portman Road needed a lot of kind of upgrades. The outside had been done, the painting, the decals and stuff. But here was the second phase with the PA system, the advertising boards, and the infamous big screen as well. The PA system. Just basic things like being able to hear Foz at half time, being able to clearly hear what Carlos Edwards was saying. The advertising boards, again, it's all about revenue this year with SCMP. Any extra revenue we can get and we can drive will all go somewhere. And then the big screen, looking fantastic. Still think there's a little bit of work. I was sat in the Sir Bobby Upper, and I couldn't see the lineups throughout the game. It's just too small. And then, the badge just, swinging round and round. I think a little more work needs to be done there. But overall, it just makes us feel like a proper, big club. It's slightly embarrassing when you're going to smaller teams and they've got, a bigger screen than us. So yeah, this is bringing us, well up to standard and stuff. So yeah, looking fantastic as always.
Indeed, and the pitch is looking good as well. So big props to the groundsman and all that sort of stuff. It's always good to see a good pitch at Portland Road. We always had a decent one. Now let's look at your second takeaway, my friend. And we scored a goal from a set piece. Lee Evans scoring the goal. Connor Chapman with the corner. That was great to see, wasn't it, Bainesy?
Yeah, I turned to John, who I was sat with in the first corner. I was like, you know what? Wouldn't it be great if we scored on the first corner? And didn't quite do it, but it must have been the second or third, I think it was. Just a really clever, quick piece of thinking from Connor Chaplin. Play the ball short. I initially was like, what are you doing? And then it was just like, Lee Evans swept it home. The keeper wasn't going to stand a chance. But I think that's the thing. That's going to be the difference this year. Those pieces of quick thinking, putting the ball down, playing it quickly so the opposition haven't got a chance to set. And yeah, it was great to see, really good, slick, quick move. So hopefully we'll see a few more of those across the season. Still. Up.
I accidentally pressed mute on Bainesy there. Sorry, Bainesy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was trying to just press a button and it didn't work. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go to your next takeaway as we swiftly move on. And let's talk about the subs. Because this season is a 5 subs rule. And of course, we pretty much use a lot of those. Now, you've got 2 players you've highlighted here. So I'll let you discuss. But it's going to help us a lot because we've got a big squad. So we're going to be able to use players like Tyrese John Jules, Caden Jackson to come off the bench, going to use his pace to, beat those tiring fullbacks. But what's your thoughts on the 5 subs?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be key. I think this is an area where we're really going to excel. Having that depth, across so many positions, against smaller teams and smaller squads, it's going to be a big plus. So obviously not Greg Lee, Leif Davis started at left back. Obviously, if you're Greg Lee, you'd feel maybe a bit disappointed, but at the same time, you're spending that amount of money on a player. you're gonna start him. He looked a bit rusty. Hopefully he'll come on as the season goes on. But yeah, John Jules and Greg Lee, especially Greg Lee, just looking explosive. I mean, if you've been chasing the ball with us for 60, 70 minutes, to then have the likes of Jackson, Aluko, John Jules, Greg Lee, it's going to be nightmare for defenders. But Greg Lee especially, just pace, trickery, and that cross, Burns, the Burns header, that was inches away from being clipping in the post. So yeah, I think subs this year is going to be a big thing, and I was really impressed with John Jules and Greg Lee. Just we've got a lot of depth, we've got a lot of players who can make a real impact off the bench. So yeah, I think as the season goes on and the games start coming thick and fast, they're going to be vital. But yeah, very impressed with those two.
And next takeaway, Bainesy, is the weather. Now, some people are going to think, what are you guys talking about? The weather. We're not talking about, it was lovely sunshine and stuff. It's actually what an impact of the game and the players. So Bainesy, let you expand and tell the folks listening, watching about the weather.
Yeah, I just thought I'd go with something a bit different. Obviously, it's just really, really muggy at the moment. I mean, even sat in the stands, you can feel like your shirt's sticking to you. The air just feels thicker. And I think it made a big impact on the game because it got to sort of like 50, 60 minutes. Ladapo looked knackered. Yeah, it just played a big part. You could see as the game went on, the pace just slowed down completely. And, it's hard enough just to sit there in that heat, or, even to sleep in this heat at the moment, let alone, having to run around on a football pitch at high intensity. I think it played a really big part. And yeah, this weather is not going to do anyone any favours. So hopefully as it gets a bit cooler, the play can speed up. It will play to our kind of our strengths, our pace and our depth. But yeah, it was awful. It's that weather, it just feels like it's like grabbing you by the throat. So yeah, I'd obviously love to play for the team, but yeah, I do not envy them having to run round and sweating in that humidity.
Indeed, and well, let's talk about your final takeaway. And it was just the result as a whole. Opening day of the season, a draw, a point on the boards, and it gets a good Bolton side. Although we should have took those chances at the end. Morsey, what a chance! What a chance! That would have been an amazing moment. What a way to start the season. A late winner, but 1-1 in the end. Bainesy, as a whole, what's your thoughts on the result?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at most kind of predictions from experts, from fans, they've got Bolton there or thereabouts. So playing them early, in the season is probably a good thing, because you can never quite replicate, competitive matches. Pre-season is good, but competitive matches is where you really build it up. And yeah, I mean, first half we were just slow. It was just like, come on. Whereas the second half we dominated that game, and had we won, that would not have been an unfair result, at all. Morsey just side fitting it, and the keeper just about got a leg to it. But yeah, overall, I think it's okay. I think had we lost that game, that would have been just such a massive blow to the momentum and the positive feeling that's building. So a point against a Bolton side, who I think it was Mark Becker said on Twitter, their form at the end of last season was absolutely phenomenal. It's like they were one of the top scorers, and I think they were first or second in the form chart. So you know what, it's not a bad point at all in the grand scheme of things. We can move on to Forest Green next week, although they're going to be bang up for it because they won their first game and it's going to be their first home game in League One. But yeah, the second half filled me with a lot of positivity. And a lot of hope for this season. I think as the weeks go on, that chemistry is going to build. Those players are going to get more settled in. I think it's going to be a great season. I really do.
We all do as well, my friend. It's been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much for joining me, Bainesy. Hope everybody at home has enjoyed watching. Let us know your takeaways from the first game of the season. And as Bainesy said, bring on Forest Green, a packed away end. I look forward to that. See you later, and look out for many more videos coming this week. Bye-bye for now.